Let's talk about following up with clients. I have a great question here. It says, I know a lot of hypnotherapists do not contact their stop smoking clients after the session. I'm wondering if I should do this. I used to, but I have faith in my program and I haven't done it recently. Okay. Let's actually explore both approaches, following up and not following up. Let's see what we can conclude at the end. There's some nuances to this that I think are really important. And I think the best thing you could do here is make a decision once you understand all the benefits on the table. So if we're working in a more conventional way, so the process looks like this at a high level, okay? Making sure the client's at threshold, we're screening people out. Pre-talk, we're basically trying to convince themselves to think differently about certain beliefs they have about smoking. And then we're using the hypnosis sort of to ratify the change we believe they've already made. And they're walking out the door and we're hoping they kind of believe something shifted. They believe they're not a smoker, they believe it worked, things like that. If you follow up with that person, a lot of folks will say, hey, you could start to create a sense of doubt. On the other hand, you get referrals, right? It's pretty cool. If it works, it's pretty great. So those are two more material things for you to consider, right? But I think if we take a step back, I followed up with everybody when I started doing this work because for me, it was really important. I wanted efficacy. I wanted to make sure this change actually occurred. I got into it to help people stop smoking. Now I train people. But the reality is, if we're not following up, one of the cons here is you don't get an opportunity to explore what went wrong. My goodness, you can learn so much from talking to these people that didn't stop. And, maybe you'll reach the same conclusions other people did. Well, they weren't at threshold. Well, they don't really want to quit. But maybe you'll uncover something very powerful. And so I think being able to listen to the people that you follow up with, my goodness, and just setting aside your assumptions you have about how this process is supposed to work, there is some gold there. There's some it's informed the way I work with people like nothing else has. It's incredible. So these are some things to keep in mind. Now I think when you're starting out, it's hard because you don't really have confidence yet. You just haven't done it a bunch. So I think that's another thing you got to be kind of mindful of, where you're at in your journey. I would rather be confident in what's real versus my method, my process. That's why I don't use any of those things. I don't use that conventional approach. I just work with that individual in front of me, and their unconscious mind informs me on what to do, and that's what I'm teaching. So we talked about that from a more conventional standpoint. Now, if we're solving the real problem, if we're going beyond the symptom, we're finding out, we're exploring the nature of it with the client. They have a series of epiphanies and understandings. They look at themselves differently. They look at the problem differently. Everything's changed, right? They're just minds in a different place. Now they have choice back. One of the worst things you can do with that person is follow up. Here's why. This is very important to understand. By far the most important work done when you're working that way with people is after the session. They have to integrate. Their mind has to process those changes. If you interrupt that, you can jeopardize stuff, right? That's a powerful thing they're on. And this is quite a different way to work with folks, right? Because we're taking our role out of this as much as possible. But I think that makes the most sense. You're not really doing it, they're doing it, right? There's that old saying, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. I think that's true. And this one piece amplifies results for your clients so much. So I want to say it again. The most important work is done after the session when they leave you. Right? This is the integration. This is where the mind can kind of drift and do what it needs to. And it's always something spectacular. So in this case, following up, but the way I teach this, we have certain mechanisms in place and certain benchmarks, things that frames of reference we give that client to know if they still have a problem when they're experiencing this. Now I want to know about it, right? But we've taken the sting and the shame out of this on the front end, because they understand the problem differently. This is quite different. Whereas in a more conventional approach, oh, it didn't work. Now I'm feeling ashamed. I'm still smoking. You know, this person's supposed to be really, really good at it. That must mean that I'm hopeless and I'm lost and I'll never be smoke-free. That is, we don't do that, right? We don't do that. So there's a lot of different things I threw out here I want you to consider. Just to illustrate a couple different examples, I've had plenty of people quit smoking immediately. I've had people smoke, they tried to smoke afterward. They actually lit up a cigarette, put it in their mouth, and they said, I had to put it out. I think you've seen plenty of testimonials of folks saying stuff like this. This is quite a different phenomenon, right? We're talking about a different type of change. I've had people smoke 1 or 2 months after, and then they'll write, this is incredible. I just don't want to do it anymore. It's like when a little kid, and they're so obsessed with the food, they're constantly eating that food. I think sooner or later they just get sick of it, right? This is the type of processing we're doing. This is the type of change we're making. Now, it doesn't have to be that way for everybody. Again, this is we're staying as dynamic, and we're staying as authentic and real as possible with clients. We're not trying to assume we know the type of experience we need to help them manufacture. Their mind has that information. Their mind will solve that problem. All we're doing is creating the space for their mind to do it. One final point to make here, if you're gonna pursue the follow-up strategy, if you're gonna go down that road, I want you to be aware of comparison and confidence. So let's say you're looking at your success rate, if you're tracking it, and you're actually following up with clients, and then you were to look at others in the industry that have a much higher success rate. One of the things you got to ask yourself is, are they actually following up with the client? Because no scientist would, like, those folks sometimes will measure success based off, is the client reaching back out to me? And that's a different thing entirely. There's a lot going on in that person's head as to why they wouldn't reach out if they're still smoking. It's how it goes, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that approach, okay? To some extent, I think there's a value in not following up even with the more conventional approach, because ultimately it is that client's choice and it is their responsibility to quit. I think with the conventional approach, the problem's not really being addressed in such a way that the processing is going to take place. So I think there is a mismatch in the modality being applied, but I get the idea that, like, you know, I told them if they have a problem, reach out to me. Like that still is a very real part of what they're doing that I think is worthy to consider, right? Like that person taking the step towards you is taking a step towards that freedom in some sense, right? So I can kind of see that angle on it. But yeah, if you're going to pursue it, so I just don't want your confidence to be affected by this. Right? The reality is, like, you're doing something different. You're actually following up. And you're going to learn a lot from it. So a lot to keep in mind here. Feel free to rewatch this. Please share it. You know, if you're following me on TikTok, I wind up addressing these types of questions quite a bit. So that's another good resource for you out there. Can't wait to see you at the training sometime. And you, listen, have an absolutely fantastic day. Take care.